Let's just jump right in. Today's explainer tackles something that catches so many of us completely off guard: the absolute illusion of wealth. We are breaking down the fascinating psychology of why having a massive income doesn't actually mean you have financial freedom. It's a fundamental trap, and we're going to figure out exactly why it happens, and more importantly, how to rewire our brains to beat it. So, to really wrap our heads around this, let's look at two friends. First up, we've got Alex. Alex is pulling in a massive salary, making 20 grand every single month. Then there's Ben. Ben's taking home a much more modest $5,000 a month. Now, if you had to place a bet right now on who's going to be wealthier in 10 years, who are you putting your money on? I mean, our brains just automatically jump to the obvious math, right? Seriously, take a second. Think about it. Most of us would instantly say Alex. Obviously, right? The guy is bringing in 4 times as much cash every month. How could he not be way wealthier? But let's fast forward a decade and see how this actually played out. 10 years later, Alex has practically zero savings. Zero. He's literally living paycheck to paycheck on a $20,000 a month salary. Crazy, right? Well, it's because every single raise he got turned into a new luxury. The bigger house, the flashy SUV, designer clothes, those crazy expensive vacations. Every dollar in went right back out. But Ben played a totally different game. He just quietly saved, he patiently invested, no unnecessary debt. Fast forward, and Ben is sitting on a massive investment portfolio. Ben is actually the wealthier friend. It perfectly hits on this one core truth. Wealth just isn't determined by your income. It's determined by what you actually keep. Without rock-solid habits, a bigger paycheck just magically turns into bigger spending. Honestly, it's exactly why you see these high-earning celebrities or lottery winners totally go bust. They think they have an income problem, but what they actually have is a spending problem in disguise. They figure, hey, if I just earn more, my problems go away. But the math, it just doesn't work like that. Section 1. The silent wealth killer. Let's see how this hidden antagonist actually operates. Think of it like a domino effect, what we call lifestyle inflation. Imagine you get this amazing promotion, right? Boom, 30% salary bump. What happens next? Well, for most folks, they instantly upgrade their whole life to match the new paycheck. A brand new phone, a much nicer apartment, hitting up pricier restaurants. Suddenly, all that extra cash just vanishes into thin air. Sure, their income went way up, but their actual wealth didn't budge an inch. It's the #1 reason people feel broke even when they're making more money every single year. Section 2. Buying your future freedom. This is how we escape that trap. We have to totally rewrite how we view saving money. Don't look at it as some boring restriction or just a static number in a bank app. Think of saving as actively buying options for your future self. When you save, you're literally buying the flexibility to walk away from a toxic job. You're buying the runway to start your own business, or help out your family, or just retire in peace. You are buying flexibility, and flexibility, that is absolute freedom. So if saving is the ultimate freedom cheat code, why is it so incredibly hard to actually do? It's our brains, honestly. We have a massive bias for the right now. Spending is instant, it's flashy, it's exciting, everyone sees it. But saving, that means giving up a guaranteed good time today for some invisible security tomorrow. It feels completely invisible. But it's that quiet, invisible choice that changes everything. It's like planting a tree. You're not getting any shade today, but man, 10 years from now, you're going to be so glad you planted it. Section 3. The math of wealth. Let's get into the actual numbers here. $10. Seriously, $10. Barely gets you a fancy latte and a pastry nowadays, right? It feels like nothing. But if you start throwing just $10 a day into investments, compound growth takes over. Over time, that tiny little habit snowballs into something massive. And the wild part? The exact dollar amount isn't even the main takeaway here. It's the habit itself. True wealth is almost always built through this kind of relentless, quiet consistency, not some dramatic overnight windfall. Think about 2 different people. Person A is crushing it, making $200,000 a year, but they only save 5% of it. Person B makes a pretty standard $60,000 a year, but they're super disciplined and save 30%. So, who builds wealth faster? More often than not, it is absolutely person B. Your actual wealth depends so much more on your savings rate than your gross income. The percentage you keep will always beat the sheer volume of what you earn. But doing this requires a huge shift in your ego, because wealth grows quietly. Society is hardwired to applaud loud, expensive things.
People are going to compliment a luxury car or a designer watch, but nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to high five you for a well-diversified index fund. And you just have to be totally okay with that. The goal isn't to get applause from strangers at a stoplight. The goal is absolute security. Honestly, the strongest financial moves you'll ever make are the quietest ones.
Section 4. Your financial action plan. Let's bring this right back to you. I've got a challenge for you this week. I want you to sit down and honestly ask yourself a few tough questions. First off, what percentage of your income are you actually saving right now? Then pull up your bank app. Look at your spending over the last 30 days. Which of those expenses actually brought you genuine happiness? And which ones were just total impulse buys you forgot about 2 days later? Could you automate just a little bit more of your savings right now so you don't even see it leave? And the big one, are you building actual freedom or are you just inflating your lifestyle? Remember, tiny tweaks repeated over and over create massive results. Let me leave you with this one thought. So many folks exhaust themselves on the hamster wheel, just endlessly chasing a bigger paycheck, but they spend zero energy fixing their habits. Wealth isn't created the second the direct deposit hits your account. It's built in the split-second decisions you make right after it arrives. Every single dollar is a choice. You can burn it today, or you can buy a piece of tomorrow. The people who consistently choose tomorrow, those are the ones who actually win. It's all about making your money work for you instead of you working for your money. So look at your own life. What are you going to choose to buy for your tomorrow? Well, that wraps up this explainer on the psychology of saving. But we are definitely not done. Next time, we're diving into why trying to make the perfect, 100% rational financial choice is actually a terrible idea that's holding you back. We're going to uncover why being reasonable totally beats being rational, and why perfect decisions just flat out do not exist. It's going to be a great one. So I'll see you then.